Yakubu as Inec chairman.
Impeached.
So,
good evening, welcome to ITV News. I am Sharon Ajay.
I'm Uyag Mofwebe. Thank you for joining us on tonight's news.
President Muhammadu Buhari has written to the Senate seeking approval for the confirmation of Professor Mahmoud Yakubu for a second term in office as the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec. Senate President Ahmad Lawan read the letter today at the resumption of legislative proceedings after 1 month recess. In his letter, President Buhari solicited for the lawmakers' expeditious consideration of his request for another 5-year tenure for Mahmoud as INEC chairman. Yakubu earlier in November handed over his duties as chairman of the electoral body to Air Vice Marshal Ahmed Muazu, retired, at an event held at INEC headquarters in Abuja. Ahmed is currently acting in that capacity, pending when the Senate confirms the reappointment of Professor Yakubu as INEC chairman by President Muhammadu Buhari.
The Ondo State House of Assembly has impeached its Deputy Speaker, Iroju Ogundeji. Iroju, representing Odigbo Constituency 2, was impeached following the House resolutions led by the Speaker, Bamidele Olayolegun. The former Deputy Speaker was immediately replaced with Mr. Adeboroye. Iroju was impeached on the ground of gross misconduct, which the House said has brought disrepute to the hallowed chamber. 20 lawmakers signed the impeachment. Following the reconstitution of the House, Tomide Akinrebido has been removed as the minority leader and replaced with Festus Akingbaso from PDP, while Ogumo Lasui is the new majority leader. Taofik Oladele is now the new chief whip in replacement of Adeyemi Olayemi. Governor Oluwarotimi Akarodolu will present the 2021 budget to the State House of Assembly on Friday.
Meanwhile, the Speaker of the Gombe State House of Assembly, Abubakar Sadiq Ibrahim Koba, has been impeached. He was impeached by 16 out of the 24 members of the House. The proceedings which led to his impeachment was presided over by Deputy Speaker Sidi Buba, representing Kwame West constituency. Since the impeachment, a new Speaker, Abubakar Muhammad, has been elected. Muhammad is representing Akko Central constituency at the Assembly. He was elected by 15 members of the Assembly and has been sworn in. Similarly, the leader of the House, Samuel Marcus, representing Peru Chong, has also been impeached and replaced with Yarima Laden Gwale of Kantugo East constituency. The majority leader, Samuel Marcus, and Deputy Chief Whip Yahaya Kaka were also removed. The members cited the loss of confidence and the inability of the past leadership amongst the reasons for the change and assured the state government of its cooperation. The recent change in leadership of the House comes barely a year after the Deputy Speaker was removed.
Edo State House of Assembly today gave a bill for the law to establish a body to be known as the Edo State Signage and Advertisement Agency and to confer functions relating to the regulations of outdoor structures and platforms used for the display of advertisements in Edo State at the second reading. Kingsley Uchebu reports that the House earlier directed all heads of various ministries, departments and agencies to meet with various House committees to fine-tune their budget estimates ahead of its passage.
Majority Leader of the House, Henry Okworobo, who led the debate on the bill, said when passed into law, it would boost the economy of the state, which in turn would strengthen empowerment and employment for youths. Deputy Whip and member representing Igweben constituency, Ephraim Alwewesele, on his part, said that advertisement and signage remains a big business, adding that the passage of the bill would ensure strict regulation of advertisement and scale up internally generated revenue. Other members maintained that the passage of the bill would eliminate double taxation in the advertisement industry as it seeks to harmonize all levies on advertisement in the state.
The of a bill like this is all unwelcome. It will provide policy guidelines and regulation for the development of a vibrant signage industry and advertisements in our state.
The signage bill is not new, it is big business, and this period where the state actually is looking for money, I want to say constituents are fully in support.
This agency, or passing a bill that create this agency, will remove all this bureaucratic hurdle, thereby having the unity of purpose among the advertisers.
The Speaker, Marcus Onobun, in support, said the bill, when passed into law, would eliminate environmental hazards and remove hindrances to visibility on highways, as billboards in the state would be strategically displayed to add to the aesthetics of the state.
This bill, it helps to end poverty, it helps to end hunger, it promotes health within our society, it provides equal access to good education for all Edo people, and requests all heads of ministries, departments, agencies, and parastatals of government to meet with various house committees to fine-tune and tidy up the budget.
Also at plenary, a bill for a law to establish the Edo State College of Education was also given its second reading. Majority Leader Henry Okworobo said the bill, when passed into law, would enable the establishment of colleges of education in the 3 senatorial districts of the state of Abu serve as campus for higher education, and after physical education. The Speaker, Roland Asoro, and other members also spoke in favor of the bill.
It will help to create economic stimuli, because so many persons will come to that area to come and establish businesses.
In building these schools, we know that they are going to contribute to our awards at all the levels, to have them to be economically efficient, to be scientifically literate, and vocationally oriented.
The education industry in Edo State is going to be highly sanitized, and it will then put Edo State as a model very soon for other states to come and copy.
The bill was thereafter referred to the Committee on Education with a mandate to submit its report within 2 weeks for consideration. Under matters of personal interest, Deputy Speaker Roland Asoro notified members of the burial ceremony of his late mother-in-law, Reverend Helen Nosayaba Obarisabon, scheduled for Thursday, 26 November 2020. Kingsley Uchebu reporting.
You're watching Independent Television. Main news, more reports after the short break. Just stay with us.
Usazua. Call to glory. The families of Ogbedoyo Usazua regret to announce the transition to eternal glory of their beloved father, grandfather, brother, and uncle, Pa Francis Agmontan Usazua, aged 70, survived by 3 children, 1 grandchild, and relatives. Burial arrangement. Thursday, 26th November 2020, 10 a.m. Body leaves UBTH Ugbowo Lagos Road for his residence, 3 Ososo Avenue, Sita International School Road, off Phyllis Elama Road, GRA Benin City, opposite Greater Tomorrow School area. 2 p.m. Service of songs at same venue. Saturday 28th, 12 noon, social dance at Marquis de Haven, 1 Faith Way, off Upper Adesua, opposite Church of God Mission, Faith Arena, GRA. Note, strictly by invitation. Sunday 29th, 8 a.m. Thanksgiving service at Open Door Evangelical Mission, 21 Ibiwe Street, before Ebo Junction, inside Uniben Shuttle Bus Terminal. Signed, Children.
One year in mind, we remember you today, our dearly beloved mother, late Mrs. Patience Imuwahe Obamie. Your departure seems like yesterday and has created in us a vacuum difficult to fill, because you were a caring, loving, and a passionate mother, willing to give all for the best of her children. To say we miss you dearly is an understatement, but we are consoled by the virtues instilled in us and your legacies. Sleep on, Mom, till we meet to part no more. Special thanks to Obamie and Osaimida families, members of Christ Apostolic Church of God Mission, Obakolo Street, Benin City, executive and members of the Apex Club of Nigeria, friends and well-wishers for being there. Signed by the children.
Look at my life. Can you see what God has done? annual Harvest Thanksgiving service of Jesus Breeds Ministries International Incorporated holds on Sunday, 29 November 2020 at 10 a.m. prompt under the distinguished chairmanship of Brother Felix Lator and Pastor Patu Swanlile. Theme, God of Restoration, Joel 2:25. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawa Benedion, CFR, the Esama of Benin Kingdom, and the Honorary Romanian Councillor to Edo and Delta States. There is Mother of the day, Madam Dora Aibangbe, Father of the day, Elder I.A. Osayende. Date for the annual Harvest Thanksgiving Service 2020, Sunday, 29 November 2020. Venue number 4-16 Osai Street, off Ewa Road, off Upper Mission Road, Benin City. To welcome you is the Chief Host, Bishop Dr. Eddie Omawuyi Okundai, JP. Host, spend a minute. God bless you as you come. Signed, Elder Emmanuel Egiamusoy, Committee Chairman.
The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Lawrence Ikechukwu Ezemoye, PhD, for Board of Justice of Igbinedi University, Okada, cordially invites the general public to the 18th convocation ceremony, Igbinedi University, Okada, holding on Saturday, 28th November 2020. The ceremony will feature awards of first degrees and prizes, award of higher degrees, and a convocation lecture to be delivered by Dr. Mrs. Ajori Shedere, J. Awoshika, FPSN, FWACP, MFR, MNR, Chairman, Access Bank PLC, on the topic, Navigating the Entrepreneurship, Employability Waters, Resilience in the Fourth Industrial Revolution. The ceremony holds at the University Main Auditorium, Main Campus, Okada, and online via Zoom by 10 a.m. prompt. All invited guests are enjoined to come with their face mask and arrive early, as the university would be enforcing social distancing rules at the venue of the ceremony. Other guests who wish to join the ceremony are 244918882 and passcode IUO 2020. Or at www.iuokada.edu.ng. Signed, Friday Benji Bakare, Esquire, Registrar.
Stroke or cerebrovascular accident is one of the leading causes of death and disability the world over. Worry no more. It can, however, be treated if the patient presents early to the hospital and are treated by experts. In UBTH, there is a dedicated stroke ward for 10 years now. About 2,500 patients have been treated over the period. Thursday, 26th November, join us as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of our stroke ward and unveil the vision to reposition this unit in UBTH for the next 5 years. We invite you to join in the celebration and support this developmental stride to enable us offer more. Date 26th November, time 10 a.m. Guests to be seated by 9:30 a.m. Venue, Doctor's House along Ugbowo, Lagos Road. All NCDC protocols to be duly observed. This announcement is signed by Professor Darlington Obaseki, Chief Medical Director, UBTH.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent Triple Protection 123.
Thank you for staying with us on the news. President Muhammadu Buhari has pledged Nigeria's continuing support to Chad, adding that Nigeria will always be there for the Republic of Chad, as they are not only neighbors but brothers. President Buhari, according to a statement from his special advisor on media, Femi Adesina, spoke at State House Abuja today while receiving a special envoy from His Excellency President Idris Deby Itno of Chad, adding that Nigeria appreciates the support she was getting in tackling insecurity from the neighboring country. The president said the instability in Libya after 42 years of Muammar Gaddafi affects all in the Sahel region, stressing that Nigeria was grateful to Chad for the diverse kinds of support given to combat the Boko Haram insurgency. The president assured that Nigeria will always back up Chad in its local and international aspirations.
The need to preserve and inculcate moral values in the younger generations as a way of promoting peace and unity has been stressed. The advice was given at a one-day workshop on cultural orientation organized by the Center for Black African Art and Civilization, in collaboration with the member representing Oedo Federal Constituency and Chairman House of Representatives Committee on Culture and Tourism, Dr. Moige Ugbedehama.
At the event, students from different public secondary schools in Oedo Federal Constituency were reminded that culture, as a bedrock of the society, must be cherished and showcased as culture defines human. The one-day workshop facilitated by the member representing Oedo Federal Constituency, Dr. Moigi Ogbedehama, through the Office of the Center for Black African Arts and Civilization, CBAC, was used to encourage the students through various speakers to take pride in promoting cultural heritage.
Yes, I want to first congratulate Right Honorable Ogbedehama Omorege for this worthy investment in culture, because if further resources are exhaustible, cultural resources are inexhaustible.
Let us together protect, preserve, and propagate our culture, because everything that we do, we are all borrowed.
Dr. Moigi Ogbedehama said after organizing the practical aspect of the cultural orientation and sensitization program, which recently took place at the National Museum ground in Benin City, he decided to embark on the theoretical aspects of cultural orientation. He encouraged the students to ensure that experience from the program serve as a guide for them in the future.
It's important to catch them young. It's important to teach them young, so that they grow with it and will not depart from it. We're going to continue to do everything within our powers to ensure that our culture, very rich culture, does not wither away, and our children are inculcated with the right ethics and values of life.
In a separate training for older people, the participants were encouraged to seize every opportunity to inculcate moral values and norms in their children and worlds. Some of the participants, including the PDP chairman in Oedo local government, Mr. Oduwa Igbinosun, thanked the federal legislator, Dr. Moigi Ogbedehama, for being in the forefront of reawakening culture and tradition in the country.
Honorable Ogbedehama, in conjunction with CBAC, one of the agencies under his chairmanship as Chairman Committee on Culture and Tourism, are the one training and teaching people, passing knowledge to the next generation.
We also thought that when you are bringing up a child, you should not depart from his or her language, so that whenever he or she goes to tomorrow, we will be part of it, and that we should be proud of our culture.
I really appreciate the effort of Ogbedehama Omorege, because he has brought us together in unity to teach us, to educate us more about our cultural activities.
The program afforded the students and other participants the opportunity to ask questions and to learn new skills that will be helpful in their daily living. Best Mbiere reporting.
Council and parties involved in the ongoing Edo State Judicial Panel of Inquiry for Victims of SARS and other related abuses have been advised to stick to the rules guiding the panel. Chairman of the panel, Justice Ada Egiamuso, retired, gave the advice while attending to cases today. Pius Nsogo has details.
The cases for Tuesday's hearing were that of one Mr. Tony Olufowobi versus Nigeria Army, Godwin Andrew Obawanda versus Edo State Police Command, Elvis Okungbowa versus Nigeria Army. Others were Mr. Vincent Ekejoba versus NSAS protesters, Fred Ugbefun versus Edo State Government Revenue Collector, late Mr. Hamilton Obaze versus SARS, and Sunday Akpan versus Edo State Police Command. Counsel to the cases presented their arguments on how security personnel, including police and army, brutalized their clients, while others narrated how private warehouses in Benin City were broken into and looted during the NSAS protests, and called on the panel to ensure justice. Some members of the panel gave their views, while the chairman of the panel, Justice Ada Egiamuso, retired, urged strict adherence to guiding rules.
This panel does not strictly follow the Evidence Act in admitting documents, being a fact-finding panel.
People were protesting against the death of
one man, a young man, that was killed by a police serving in Delta State. While people were protesting, police from Edo State Command peregrinated to the venue, started shooting sporadically that led to the death of Mr. Godwin.
Now we are looking at it now. Somebody has said the police is one. Are we going to go to Delta now to go and serve them in Delta if you go back from what you are saying? The OC, the people in charge have said, serve them here. It makes the job very easy for us.
In an interview, some petitioners and their counsel expressed optimism that justice will prevail.
They just break my warehouse and push everything down and enter it and begin to loot all my goods. I'm owing bank, I'm owing the company, and I don't know what my business has fallen, and I don't really know what I will do.
It's unfortunate that hoodlums took over the NSAS protest that happened some weeks ago. They ended up, cutting some goods in private individuals' warehouses.
2 years old electrical intelligence of Tripoli, who was callously killed by bullets fired by members of the Nigerian army.
Following the agitations of the protesters, the federal government directed state governors to set up judicial panel of inquiry into allegations of police brutality, extrajudicial killings by personnel of the defunct anti-robbery squad known as SARS. Hence, Edo State government set up a panel of inquiry chaired by Justice Ada Ehiamusoy, retired. Pius Nsogo, reporting.
And from Abuja, the Senate has asked the federal government to use one of the country's VATs to repair assets that were destroyed in different states of the country in the aftermath of the NSAS protest. This was part of resolutions reached at today's plenary session after Senate debated on two separate motions on the NSAS protests. National Assembly correspondent Osaoname Ibizugbe reports.
Coming under Orders 42 and 52 of the Senate Standing Rules, the senator representing Ekiti South, Biodu Olujimi, moved a motion on the aftermath of the NSAS protest leading to the looting and wanton destruction of public and private assets. Senator Olujimi raised concerns on the level of damages amounting to over ₦1 trillion in Lagos State, the country's commercial nerve center and epicenter of the violence. The lawmakers said the state will be needing intervention to rebuild the damaged infrastructure. Coming under same orders of the Senate Standing Rules, the senator representing Cross Rivers South, Gershom Bassi, lamented the level of damage done by looters in his state. He said same intervention will also be needed in Calabar as several infrastructures were razed and destroyed.
Urge the federal government to establish a special economic assistance to Lagos State in recognition of its strategic socio-economic significance by paying a financial grant in aid of not less than 1% of the share of revenue allocated to the federal government in the federal account.
Mandate the Committee on National Security, Intelligence, the Committee on Defense, the Committee on Police Affairs, Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters to investigate the invasion of the ancient city of Calabar on 24th day of October 2020.
While supporting both motions, Niger East Senator Sani Musa opined that it is the role of government to provide compensation to those affected in one way or the other by the NSAS protests.
Whenever there are destructions, it is the role of government to adequately provide compensation, especially for the fact that government is supposed to protect life and properties.
Meanwhile, Senator Abdullahi Adamu was of the opinion that the judicial panel of inquiries set up by state governments be allowed to carry out their responsibilities without interference. An opinion supported by Edo South Senator Matthew Rogide.
It is my considered opinion that it will be prejudicial to the judicial tribunals that have been set by some state governments, by the federal government, to go into this matter. If we now proceed to to take decisions on this, we shall be preempting the outcome of these judicial tribunals.
We should be concerned about how to prevent this in the future. Maybe before they submit these reports, we just pray to God that there will be no upset again. There will be no unrest that will be exhibited by our youth.
While condemning the wanton destruction, the Senate, among other resolutions, asked the federal government to use 1% of the country's value-added tax to repair all assets destroyed by hoodlums in different parts of the country. Osawona Me Ibizugbi, ITV News, Abuja.
You're watching ITV Main News. We're back shortly with more stories. Stay with us.
Daughter. Celebration of life. The families of Eondo and Izeyamo announced the burial ceremony of their daughter, sister, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, Mrs. Clara Kende Ehondo, née Izeyamo, aged 84, survived by sister, brother, children, in-laws, grandchildren, nephew and nieces, children, Eki Oboigba Peters, Mr. Solomon Oboigba, Mr. Richard Ehondo, and Mrs. Augustina Uwadiai. Burial arrangements. Thursday, November 26, 2020, 8 a.m. Body leaves UBTH for our residents, 67 Ago Street off Ekewon Road, Benin City for lying in state. 3 p.m. Funeral service and service of songs and interments. Friday, November 27, 2020, Edo State Market Association Day. Saturday, 28 November, 12 noon, social dance at Garrick Memorial Field, Ekewon Road, Benin City. Sunday, November 29th, 9 a.m., family Thanksgiving service at Holy Arosa Church, Akbakbava Road, Benin City. Signed, family.
Precious Lord, take my hand.
Glorious transition. With gratitude to God Almighty, we announce the glorious transition of our dearly beloved mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, and great-great-grandmother, late Madam Alice Igbinokwo Odige, née Chief Uwadiai Okungbowa, aged 93 years. She survived by 6 children, 34 grandchildren, 52 great-grandchildren, 8 great-great-grandchildren. Burial arrangement. Thursday, 26 November 2020, 2 p.m. Service of songs at number 14, 2nd Uwadiai Street off Adolo College Road, Ugbowo, Benin City. Interment follows immediately at same venue. Saturday, 28 November 2020, reception at NTA Benin Event Ground, West Circular Road, Benin City. Time is 12 noon. Sunday, 29 November 2020, television service at Jesus Breathes Ministries International Incorporated, number 46, Osayi Street off Ewa Road, off Admission Road, Benin. Announcement is signed by Engineer Elder Theophilus Odige, JP.
Lead me home.
What are they still doing there?
Daddy.
Really? Let me see. Wow! I want her to study in Canada or United Kingdom, where she will have quality and uninterrupted education with a post-study work visa.
I know one correct place where go befit small madam.
Are you sure they are reliable?
They be professionals with over 12 years experience.
Then take me there.
Welcome to Edu Abroad Education Service Limited. With high quality education and visa service. Process admission for undergraduate masters or PhD candidates to UK, Canada, Australia, Turkey, Ireland, and over 72 countries. Free applicant fee students choose from state schools in number 4 of Benin City, 133 Agbo Road by Agbo Park, Benin City. Telephone 080-735-3156
908-185-1801.
Abroad, get your.
Hey, I want to say what for everybody this month. This Christmas, we are cooperative for everybody. I need generator for my business. Oh, no worry. Now for UI Technical, them say them buy to share for all of us, and say UI Technical do Christmas bonanza right now, and every fit collect generator for bonanza price. Christmas generator bonanza for UI Technical. Hey, oh yeah, carry go. Nine be this so UI Technical, the generator headquarters.
UI Technical Christmas bonanza, opportunity for everybody to get generator for cheap bonanza price. Every size and brand of generator with genuine spare parts, grinding machine and pepper mill, including sewing machine and others. Come buy generators for cheap Christmas price for UI Technical Limited, 7981 and 83 Mission Road, Benin City. UI Technical Generator Bonanza. Now light for everybody this Christmas.
Real estate is one of the biggest and richest investments. Take advantage of this opportunity and trade it with the Prince Builders and Estate Developers. When you buy 10 plots, you get one free. The Prince Builders Estate Phase 2 at Obage Community off Sapele Road, now selling for 700,000 naira. The Phase 3 at Obanyato Community off Airport Road, selling for 950,000 naira. And Phase 4 at Imasabon Community, Sapele Road, selling for 950,000 naira. No community development fee, no agency fee, just buy and build. Remember, you can pay instrumentally. You can call us on 080-7797-7777 or visit our office at Comfort Plaza, 4A, Etete, DRA, Benin City. You can rush go buy my own so that I will be among the 25 persons who will get discounts for land.
Maggie's signature. Better your love done set with me. Maggie's signature. Tomato, onions, pepper. It's a complete cooking mix. Maggie's signature. Your love with flavor full from mouth watering jollof.
It's my party jollof.
It's my signature.
It's our signature.
New Maggie Signature. The complete cooking mix comes in jollof, pottage, and mere variants.
Deliberations on the Electoral Reform Bill passed second reading today at the House of Representatives. National Assembly correspondent Charity Tango has details of this and all matters at plenary.
The legislative process of electoral reforms began with the 8th National Assembly. 3 times the 8th Assembly passed the bill and submitted it to the presidency for assent. 3 times it was rejected. At the commencement of the 9th Assembly, the executive sent a draft of the electoral bill, which the Assembly promised to expedite action towards its speedy passage. In her lead presentation, Chairman House Committee on Electoral Matters, Representative Aisha Duku, said the amendment has become imperative due to the flaws in the nation's electoral system.
This bill therefore seeks to address many loopholes in our electoral system by amending over 300 clauses, including new provisions of the Electoral Act 2020. These amendments include section of the Electoral Act 2010 amended by the 8th National Assembly, which was not assented to by the President due to some typographical errors observed in the bill, and a draft proposal from the Independent National Electoral Commission.
Lawmakers raised concerns on some of the amendments, which include the time frame for substitution of candidates during by-elections, amongst others.
I want Inec to conduct all the elections so that it will not. That is democracy. If we want to practice real democracy.
Candidate who spends more than this, how do you measure it? And what are the penalties? And how do you enforce them?
I think there needs to be a time lag or time limit in which, if that card reader fails to work or fails to be provided, otherwise, if that new card reader or that malfunctioning card reader is repaired or submitted, maybe toward the end of election.
While briefing journalists after plenary, Representative Aisha Duku said the bill has inputs from the executive as well.
The bill has the input of the Independent National Electoral Commission, the Senate, and the Federal Ministry of Justice. So it's a combination of both the executive and the legislature.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives said this is in fulfillment of its promises to Nigerians. Charity Tanko, ITV News, Abuja.
The Judicial Panel of Inquiry into allegations of police brutality and extrajudicial killings has commenced sitting in Warri, Delta State. Chairman of the panel, Justice Celestina Ogisi, retired, promised petitioners accelerated hearing. Warri correspondent Benga Ahmed reports that the Judicial Panel is expected to make recommendations to the state government before the end of the year.
The 8-man judicial panel of inquiry into allegations of police brutality and extrajudicial killings by personnel of the defunct Special Anti-Robbery Squad, popularly referred to as SARS, received over 20 petitions from members of the public at the Unity Hall, Delta State Government House Annex, Warri, on cases pending in court regarding victims of alleged police brutality. Counsel for some of the victims asked the panel to hear such cases, but the chairman of the Delta State Panel of Inquiry, Justice Celestine Ogisi, declined their requests.
An inferior panel or whatever cannot begin to discuss a matter that is before a superior
your courts. You can't have two matters left here and there. One have pending in the courts of superior jurisdiction and another one in the panel.
Some of the lawyers comment on the refusal of the panel to consider their petitions.
The caliber of those presiding over the panel is not in doubt, particularly the presiding judge. He's a judge of repute and integrity. But unfortunately, she has been given a job in which they gave her a very big field to clear, but no cutlass, no equipment, no instruments.
The witnesses of victims are traumatized persons arising from violation of their rights. And when, therefore, they thought they have an opportunity to ventilate, to exhale, but they are not allowed to even exhale, becomes a difficult and dangerous issue.
The primary reason of the tribunal is to inquire, is to investigate, to really know the facts that led to a particular brutality being caused by a police officer. The case I appeared for is not just an ordinary brutality. Somebody's life is being taken.
Also on Monday, a middle-aged taxi driver who was allegedly brutalized by policemen from Owen police station in Udu and lost his sight during the incident also submitted his petition. According to his counsel, court awarded the sum of 12 million naira as compensation to him, but the police failed to comply with the court judgment.
In a situation whereby you have judgment against the police, who do you now get to enforce the judgment against the police? It's an anomaly that ought to be corrected. We have cried, we are asking at this point that we want a different body to enforce judgment in this country, not a police.
The judicial panel promised to work with the mandate given to them by the Delta State government to ensure justice to victims of alleged police brutality in the state. From Warri, Benga Hamid reporting.
Months after reported cases of killings in different parts of Benin City, especially at Upper Sokomba Road by Third Junction, the situation is gradually improving since the vigilance and the Joint Task Force commenced intensive security operations and arrests of criminals. FSO Wangwa reports that other areas are also yearning for the presence of the security outfits to reduce criminal activities.
Recently, Benin City residents were scared to visit certain areas, including Third Junction, Abiku, Nomayo, and 3 houses, among others, in Upper Sakomba Road. These areas were basically known to allegedly harbor criminals who unleash mayhem on their victims. The situation was further compounded with the burning of police stations in the area during the NSAS protest. The intervention of the state government, Ikbubaoka local government, and vigilantes and the Joint Task Force brought sanity to the area. Some residents comment on the present situation in the area.
Like this said, now everywhere is secure. There is no problem. We have army, the vigilantes and police. They are doing their job.
Since the police came, they've come back. At least the crime rate has reduced a bit. The good people of Edo State have come together to say no to crime and every other thing.
The security around this vicinity is kind of okay, but I wanted to put more effort. Basically, at night, this area, the hoodlums in this area, they are always at jack phones and bag. I wanted to tighten up the security at night.
However, residents around Igosa housing estate near Oluku in Ovia Northeast local government area are still living in fear because of the activities of criminals. They appeal that the Joint Task Force to extend operation Igosa and local communities. The situation was not different at off our road and the bypass in more local government area as the residents of Rob Time which left with public in the phone interview, I confirmed the arrest of some criminals. The dark source said they were for criminals in the state.
This is a signal to all criminal elements in Edo State and in the bound. They do not know that Edo State is not going to be a place for them to commit atrocities.
Benin City residents are of view that we cooperate from members public are giving important information to security personnel about the possible hideout of criminals. The state will be safe. Fosa Wangwe reporting.
The chairman, Ego Local Government, Ege Ogbemudia, says her administration will continue to work with security agencies to ensure the protection of lives and property in the locality. Ego Local Government Chairman gave the assurance during the stakeholders meeting with Edo State Police Commissioner and other law enforcement agencies. Bestin Bere has details.
In a remark at the stakeholders meeting, which had in attendance a representative of Edo State Police Commissioner John C. Kokumo, vigilantes, and traditional rulers, the host and chairman, Ego Local Government, Ego Ogbemudia, commiserated with the Nigerian police and other Nigerians for the loss recorded during the EndSARS protest that was hijacked in the country. Ego Ogbemudia informed the Commissioner of Police of the state of insecurity in the locality.
I want to appeal, sir, that you deploy more of your men to help tackle this insecurity and crime in the local government area. Just last week, Friday, traders at Uselu Market were robbed by criminals. Shops are being burgled every day in this local government. Today, we will be inaugurating the Ego Local Government Vigilante so that they can join force with the police to reduce the crime rates and insecurity in Ego.
On his part, Edo State Police Commissioner John C. Kokumo, represented by the Deputy Commissioner in charge of operations, Ayola Ajala, said the issue of insecurity should be the responsibility of all citizens and appealed for logistical support. DSP Ajala recounts the destruction of property during the period that the EndSARS was hijacked. Also, the Deputy State Commandant of the local vigilante, Mr. Joseph Meshach, said they will continue to render all necessary support to the members of the public.
We observe recently that there is also a criminal activist in Edo State, especially in Benin. And this will not be unconnected with the escape of about 200,000 inmates from our two correctional centers here in Benin. And all the law enforcement agencies have been doing their best to make sure that this is brought under control.
We are pledging our loyalty to the local governments. Vigilante is you and me. It's not one man's job. The security of lives and property is for every one of us, both the old, the young, and the youngest.
Some traditional rulers in attendance also promised to play their parts, while also appreciating the Ego Local Government Chairman, Ego Ogbemudia, for efforts in tackling insecurity.
You are just seeing the action have been taken by the Executive Chairman of the local government for the betterment of the Ego Local Government.
Thank you to the Local Government Chairman for setting up the Vigilante. A giant stride, a giant move.
The chairman of Ego Local Government, Ego Ogbemudia, while advising citizens to be law-abiding, urged landlords to carry out proper check on prospective tenants before leasing out apartments to them. The climax was the inauguration of local vigilante members to help with security challenges in the area. Bestin Bere reporting.
Your John Way elders in council, leaders and youths of Ebo Ogonwenyi community have said that the village is an autonomous community made up of Ebo, Iseche and Ogonwenyi quarters having boundaries with Amagba, Awogba, Ugbo, Iriri, Ogba and Igeho communities. In a statement, the John Way elders in council and youth leader and Ebo community are not a quarter in Ebo Ogunweyi community has been speculated in some quarters, but an autonomous community with the blessing of the palace of the Oba of Benin. The elders in council on behalf of Ebo Ogunweyi community advised members of the public, especially land developers, to be wary of individuals or group of persons parading themselves and or representing the said Ogunweyi community, as such community never existed and does not exist in Benin Kingdom.
More reports coming your way after this time out. Just stay with us.
Of the beholder. It is true that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Oh yes, now that you have seen it, go, Redefine your home with EDS quality paints. We have emulsion, glossary, test coat, stucco, superior matte, super satin, high quality emulsion. Oh yes, it is quality, no fade, no stain. EDS quality paint is widely recommended, preferred and used. We have beautiful colors from our variety of paints to give your homes, offices, hotels, schools a beautiful look. Come visit us today at along Amagwa Road, Amagbajiro, Benin City, along Upper Sakumba Road by Eba Village. Come at 22 Adesua Road opposite Etete Junction, or visit our head office at kilometer 12 Benin Saple Road by Ore Village, Benin City. EDS quality paint redefines your home.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent Triple Protection 123.
Enough of dull moments. Children, come on, let's have some fun.
Let us have some fun. Oh yes, ITV Radio wants to put smiles on your faces this season.
With a loud ovation, celebrate the simplistic Father Christmas, aka Father Peace, as he comes to delight you this Yuletide.
You know what? It is either you visit him or he visits you. Visitation commences November 2020.
So, schools, churches, corporate organizations, hurry! Book now to avoid the rush.
They told me, for booking, contact Commercial Department, Glasshouse, Airport Road, Benin City, or call 0708 365 2474.
This program is partly sponsored by Orangewood Limited, real estate developers, managers, sales, rent and lease of properties, currently selling land at Igbobi Community, Upper Ekanwa Road, Benin City, 350,000 naira for 100 by 100 feet, offers high security and solar equipment, develop apps, softwares and delivery services. Number 32, Hagiobara Street, off Iyama Road, GRA, Benin City. Call 0903-889-5858. ITV Radio Simplistic Father Christmas. Baba Jeje.
This is for the information of the general public. Owners of clubs, bars, lounges, restaurants, event centers, hotels, shopping malls, transport companies, broadcast stations, and similar establishments, that it is unlawful for anyone to use music in any trade or business or to support same without authorization or license from Musical Copyright Society of Nigeria, MCSN. This is in line with the Copyright Act LFN 2004, the Copyright Collective Management Organizations Regulation 2007. It is therefore a compelling necessity for users of music in public places or commercial settings, including members of Association of Hotel Proprietors of Edo State, to immediately proceed to MCSN office at 23 Way, Benin City, and obtain the required music copyright license to avoid copyright wahala. It is cheaper to obtain music copyright license from MCSN than the double wahala associated with copyright violation. Signed, Prince Biodun Egwakide, MCSN Edo Delta State Coordinator.
Presenting its
Buhari's request for a refund of
bond issuance.
0.1 billion naira. Half of the federal government. National Assembly correspondent to Sawarame Ibizugbe reports that the Senate's approval We apologize for that mix-up. Let's return to our earlier story now. The Senate has approved President Muhammadu Buhari's request for a refund of over 148.1 billion naira to Rivers, Bayelsa, Cross River, Osun, and Ondo State governments for projects executed on behalf of the federal government. National Assembly correspondent Osawoname Ibizugbe reports that the Senate's approval was sequel to the consideration of a report by the Committee on Local and Foreign Debts chaired by Senator Clifford Odia.
Presenting its report on the promissory note program and bond issuance as refunds to state for projects executed on behalf of the federal government, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debt, Senator Clifford Odia, stated that most federal beneficiary states were at deplorable state before intervention of the state governments. According to him, series of visits were carried out by the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing on all federal roads completed by the state and ascertained that the quality of work done met the required standard. The lawmaker, however, noted that states like Cross Rivers, Bayelsa and Ondo embarked on the highway project execution as far back as 2005 to date. He added that while the state governments have completed all projects as well as paid all contractors, the Federal Bureau of Procurement on its part certified that due process was followed accordingly.
The promissory note program and bond issuance to settle outstanding claims and liabilities of 5 states in the sum of 148,141,969,161 naira 24 kobo only. Bayelsa State 38,404,564,783 naira 40 kobo. Cross River State 18,394,732,608 naira 85 kobo. Ondo State 7,822,147,577 naira 8 kobo. Osun State 4,567,456,673 naira 63 kobo. And River State 78,953,067,518 naira 29 kobo, giving a total of 148,141,969,161 naira 24 kobo. Those in favor of this recommendation say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Osawoname Ibizugbe, ITV News, Abuja.
And that wraps up our news tonight. Thanks for being there. I am Sharon Ajay.
I am Muyag Mofwebe. Have a great night ahead of you.
Good night.
Independent television news. Truly independent.
My honeycomb, my flavored chocolate, a yakma for you now.
I'm coming.
Come, let me spoil you. Look, this is not boil or abscess. Now money.